Ew. So I had a storage unit that I've had for several years now, and for the size of the unit, the rent on it wasn't too bad to begin with, but they keep raising the rates every single year. So at this point, they're charging me now 1.5 to over 1.5 times what they originally charged me, right? And they'll just keep raising that, jacking that. I don't know how high they eventually go, but I decided that I needed to do something about it. I had some storage units that I had picked up at an auction a few years ago, and I assembled some of them to get things organized better in the storage unit. But they were stationary, right? So I just arranged them so I can walk around them and put stuff up and down. And I got to thinking about it, and I had a bunch of casters too, right? So I was just storing all these casters, but I was like, what am I going to do with all these casters? And then it hit me. I realized, I was like, I should put those casters on the bottom of those shelving units so I can roll them around, and that's going to help me a couple of ways, right? First of all, I can just line them up back to back and then just have a gap area where I can just move them around so I can access what I needed to, because I'm not always going to my storage unit and accessing stuff, so it doesn't need to be like right in front of me. I don't need to walk right to it and access it. I can just roll some of the shelves side to side, access what I need to, and then roll them, and that way I don't have to have walking on all the different sides of the shelves, right? So I can use the space a whole lot more efficiently, get more shelving units in a smaller space. And the other benefit of that I got to thinking is the storage companies have a pretty good rate to begin with, right? Because they want to hook you. But they keep jacking the rent every single year. And if you want to get that lower rate, you need to rent a different unit. But moving from one unit to the other, if you got all your stuff piled up in there, or you've got all these shelving units that aren't very mobile, is a real pain, right? But on the flip side, if everything's easy to move, then a year from now, when the rate changes, or a couple years from now when it gets, ridiculous and I want to do something about it, I can just rent another unit, move everything to the other unit, and get the better rate, right? Or even if I can't get a better unit at a better rate at that location, I can get a truck that's got one of those lifts on it and then just roll everything up into the truck, go to another facility, move everything into a new storage unit. So that's what I did. I assembled my shelving units, assembled more of them, put the wheels on them, made everything mobile, and I kind of rearranged everything in my larger unit that I already had to just make sure kind of what size unit I needed. And then I rented a smaller unit, moved everything in it, and my rent now is almost half of what I was paying, which is going to be nice. It's going to be nice not having to pay all that money every single month for space that I don't really need. It's basically like throwing money out the door, right? But another thing to think about that, I tend to think on it more of a yearly basis. So if I'm paying X amount of dollars per month, then over the course of a year, that really adds up. So I saved myself quite a bit of money by doing this. And I believe I got a clip here, so let's take a look.